The case involving former National Assembly Speaker Nosiviwe Mapisa-Nqakula, now postponed until the 5th of December. She faces corruption and money laundering charges, among others. Newzroom Afrika's Ziniko Mhlaba joins us live now from the Pretoria High Court. It was quite a long wait before these proceedings got underway. And I'm sure that, Ziniko, this probably seemed like an hour, every minute ticking by with the cameras on the former Speaker of Parliament there. But there are some clarities and clarifications and access that her defence team says is germane to their case that they need. And this is really what was discussed in court today. Just bring us all up to speed.
Yes, Iman, indeed, there was a long wait before proceedings kicked off here at the Pretoria High Court in Tshwane, as we are dealing with the case involving the former Speaker and Cabinet Minister Nosiviwe Mapisa-Nqakula. She's facing serious charges of corruption and 12 charges of corruption and 1 for money laundering. Of course, this comes at the back of what is alleged by the state to be, illegal proceedings and transactions between, a very popular businesswoman in the defense sector and Nosiviwe Mapisa-Nqakula, which led us to where we are today. So the matter has been transferred to this particular case behind. So what came out today of the court, or what we picked up from the statements which were tabled by both the state and the defense, they both agreed that, this case is not ready for trial. Actually, remember that today was a pre-trial, which was basically, meant to sort out any outstanding issues between the two counsel, the state and the defense lawyer. And indeed, when these proceedings started, we did pick up there are many outstanding issues. Well, the main issue which the prosecution introduced to the judge was the fact that, they received, some communication from defense stating that they need access to section B and C of the docket. So even though the state did say that, as far as they understand it, they've given the defense section A, which is what is required of them to be headed over to the defense. However, the defense is seeking more sections. They want access to section B and C. So section B will basically be giving them access in terms of who has the state spoken to in terms of gathering their evidences. And of course, the state is saying that, we are not going to give you that. In order for you to have access to that document, you must lodge a formal application before the judge, and then the judge, after hearing both sides, whether they must be given access to section B or not, then the judge will then determine. So that takes us to what we can call in legal terms, a trial within the trial. So now we'll be dealing with this issue, whether the defense must get access to that or not. And of course, as you said in your intro, that will be back in this court on the 5th of December, and clearly will not be back on the 5th of December to go into trial. We'll be back to outline and get conclusion on those issues that both these sides are arguing over. And also remember, Iman, that Nosiviwe Mapisa-Nqakula has not owned up to these allegations. She did say that she's not aware, she does not agree. So these delays, and of course, any form of countering whatever the state has been trying to pursue in terms of ensuring that this case gets going, we're not surprised that then there are these matters that are developing. So in summary, we'll be back here on the 5th of September because the defense wants more access to the documents so that they can prepare themselves before the trial. The judge did say that he's very unhappy with this arrangement that has been taken by both sides. However, in the interest of justice, he is going to allow that. And he's just emphasized that they need to ensure that everything is done, before they return here on the 5th of December.
Yeah, and one of the issues that he raised was some of this housekeeping should have been, I'm calling it housekeeping, should have been done in the lower court. It really shouldn't have been the purview of the higher court. Interesting clarification on Section B in the docket that they want access to. And we've seen right from the very beginning that the state didn't want to play their hand too soon with those revelations. And it will be, again, an interesting thing as it goes into this trial, within the trial directive that they're seeking for that access, to see whether it would be granted and then to see what the anatomy of the state's case might be. Just two quick things, Ziniko, before I let you go. So you've clarified B. Do we understand what the C part of that docket is And also when the defence team makes a request for, and which is going to form part of this application now, access to the pocketbooks of the police officers involved. What do those two things entail?
So see, Iman basically looks at the actual arguments and the actual evidence the state has against Nosiviwe Mapisa-Nqakula, and the defense, speaking to us, after the official proceedings were cut off, they did say that, well, in terms of law, the defense does not need to be provided with those sections, Section B and Section C. So in order for them to get that, they need to file a professional and a formal application so that they can get that access. So in terms of the deadlines, in terms of all these, in terms of when all these exchanges must take place, we're looking at the 28th of November and, of course, the 28th of October, rather, for the defense to file that application, and then the state will respond in November with their response to the application that would have been submitted by the defense. And then on the 5th of December, that's when we can hear the judge going through, perusing all those applications and replies, then giving us a sense whether, which I might say is a ruling, whether indeed the defense does have a strong case to be given access to those sections. But the state or the prosecution team is very confident that that will not succeed, because even the higher courts, such as the Court of Appeal, has ruled on those matters that a defense team does not need to be given access to those key sections. As you said earlier on, that obviously get access to Section B would make the defense have more clarity in terms of where exactly and what exactly is the real case of the state against their client, in this case, Nosiviwe Mapisa-Nqakula.
Fascinating stuff. Ziniko Mhlaba, thank you very much. Just bringing us the latest and what some of these things mean that transpired in the Pretoria High Court this morning. The matter resumes on the 5th of December. It's shaping up to be a busy December as well for the country's courts. We'll take a